Once enemies, now besties return to the big screen. And I'm telling you right now, you better go see it on the biggest and best screen available out there if you truly want to appreciate this film in its utmost entirety. And yes, folks, I am talking about Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. Let's get into my review of this right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film Godzilla Kong, The New Empire, coming to theaters March 29th. As I said, you do yourself a favor, because the only way to check out this film is on the biggest and best screen possible. So I'm talking about the IMAXs, the Dolby theaters, whatever it's going to be. 4DX if it's available. Go see it on the biggest one out there, because wow, this was impressive. This easily is my favorite film this year thus far, because the entire time I was just so invested into everything. Every element of this film, I was invested. Take away Kong, take away Godzilla, take away the Titans, take away all of that. Visually, this thing is stunning. You're just kind of just mesmerized at just the beautiful, how just look, listen, when you're talking about just either Earth, or if you're talking about shallow Earth and beyond, everywhere that they take you, it just looks amazing. So the visuals are fantastic. Then that's obviously when you're talking about our monsters, the Titans here, Godzilla, Kong, yes, they look incredible. The other folks that they run into, we'll just talk about that in 1 second. But nonetheless, in every department, like, it just visually looks great. The score, it's just it just keeps getting better with these films. The score is so good in this that alone is worth just a listen to really appreciate everything, as well as the soundtrack. The soundtrack's dope, very dope too. And then obviously when you're talking about our leads here, our characters, our humans, which I know y'all always want to find a reason to not be happy about the humans. There's too much human interactions. I tell you what, they really balanced the story very good here. And when I think about the humans here, first of all, Brian Tyree Henry, as Bernie Hayes, he's the podcaster. He obviously is a part of the people who saved the world last time. You know, now he's running the podcast, trying to get his credibility up. Listen, Brian Tyree Henry charisma is always expected to be top tier, and it doesn't let down in this as well either. He's such a scene stiller of a character that at a point I was like, oh no, he's such a comedic relief. What are we going to do here? Because there's some really serious things happening. But like, even that was balanced, because you balance him with like Rebecca Hall's performance as Dr. Eileen Andrews, and you know, that kind of creates that stability about the severity of what's happening, but also just somebody who's just trying to, like, as a podcaster or an influencer or any of those sorts, somebody who's just trying to get their content in, you know, and obsessed with what's happening. And then you also got, who I feel is one of my favorite characters, is Trapper, played by Dan Stevens. I'm just going to say, not only is he like a vital part in terms of somebody who has some dental skills, I'll just leave it at that. What a weird job that he has, I'll just say that, but also has a past with Dr. Andrews, so their chemistry, their banter is very interesting, and he's absolutely a favorite. He has so many funny moments throughout this film. Alex Ferns as Mikhail also comes in, shakes things up with his personality as well. But then ultimately I got to talk about Kaylee Hotley as Gia. You know, Gia is the character who can communicate with Kong, but is using it through sort of telepathy and sign language mannerisms, all that good stuff. This character has so much heart to not even have dialogue, you know. And I think Kaylee has just really matured in her acting career from the previous film to this, that I cannot wait to see her in many more projects. But yeah, still grabs your heart, because when it comes down to that person who connects with Kong, who could feel Kong, she is the vessel for that. And absolutely in understanding what everything Kong is going through in this, we need Gia. But talking about that, Kong is in Shallow Earth because that's his home. Godzilla is on Earth because he's lost. He lost the last fight. And so in the terms of truths, they are in two separate worlds to keep the peace here. So Kong is up fighting the Titans and everybody on Earth, while sad to say, Kong is looking for sort of community and family. Kong, it was always really responsible for protecting the Iwi tribe, and the Iwi tribe not being there. Now he's being on Shallow Earth. He's kind of a loner. So like it is like a sad arc because Kong, who's won, sort of feels exiled here, and really needs that family, that community, because that's a part of his nature. So with that all being the thing, Kong discovers that he may actually not be alone in terms of being the only ape on Shallow Earth, where we are introduced to Scar King, who has a vendetta, not only with anybody that comes in his way, but ultimately with Godzilla, and looking to get back into the fight. So there is some strange things happening that is sending signals in all different directions here. So as the synopsis says, there's two ancient titans that seems to be let me put it this way. While there's two ancient titans with Godzilla and Kong, there's also two other ancient titans that is sending anomalies both on Earth and Shallow Earth, that now we realize that our besties are going to have to team up together if they're going to not only protect the Earth, but also win the fight. So that's when we're introduced to Scar King. I won't give anything else away on that, but yeah, a fight is on the way. With that being said, though, you won't be let down with the additional titans that are introduced in this. There is definitely some really, really cool moments in terms of that. Because one, you're going to see titans you recognize, but you also are going to be in for some surprises, some really interesting surprises here. I will say Brian Tyree Henry, and kind of just the character and the involvement around the character, there's a lot of moments that this film sort of feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. And I mean like the first one, which is obviously a very good comparison because that's an amazing film. But like the fun, the banter, some of even the visuals really gives you Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think once we see that Brian Tyree Henry's Bernie Hayes character is introduced, that's when I think like those comparisons really start to like become very evident here. I will say, in terms of some of the issues with the film, I had problems with some of the human logic and even some of the dialogue with it. Some things just seem to be kind of just unaware in terms of what's happening around them. But nonetheless, it was still a lot of fun and a lot of laughs here. An hour into this film is where I think everything I said really goes to the next level, especially with the score, the action, introduction to new characters, the visuals, the presentation of some of these characters. There's a lot that happens. And even Scar King comes in and things really gets interesting. And I'm going to say, if you're not familiar with the Scar King is not just a red ape that is opposite of Kong. Fighting styles different, much more sinister, and also leads by fear. The slavery, which in this case is the comparison of Planet of the Apes, where you have one ape that is sort of like, I rule all the apes versus everybody. And then you got another ape that's basically like, we can all live together, freedom. So that is sort of the dynamic with that. There's no other way to put it. But yeah, they definitely tap into some of the Planet of the Apes tropes in that. And I still don't think that was a problem, to be honest. Now, granted, I think the trailers gave way too much in this. I usually don't watch trailers, but I did in terms of kind of just some of the promotional stuff with this film really caught my eye. And I love this franchise, so I was kind of like sucked into it. But I definitely think they gave way too much away in the trailers. even to the point that some of the stuff that they gave away in the trailers kind of left me with more questions than answers. But the film irons everything out. You know, why Godzilla is Super Saiyan Rose in this, or Pink Godzilla, whatever you want to call him. Understanding why they team up. Why does Kong ride Godzilla? Why does Kong get the arm? Scar, all of it. They really do iron out everything. So in terms of the overall plot, I thought they did a really good job in making sure that they checked all the boxes on that note. I will say that Scar was truly a dope villain. I like Scar's swag. I like Scar's demeanor, the fighting style. I thought Scar was dope. I can't even lie. And then when it comes down to the team ups and the power ups and all that other stuff, I was digging it. I definitely was digging it. They really brought some cool things together. And like in the beginning of the film, it felt like the CGI was kind of like, but it got so much better to the point that, yeah, when these big fight moments needed to happen, they really polished it all up. And it was just incredible. It was incredible. So, you know, to wrap this review up, I thought the score was dope. I really was digging the characters, both human and obviously the conflict between our titans here. The visuals, I can't express enough. Going to see this on the biggest and best screen, because getting that experience really makes you feel it in your bones here, because it rumbles. It wows you at the eyes. There's some jaw-dropping moments that you're just going to be like, wow, I didn't see that coming. And even in the middle of the film, it slows down just a little bit, but that third act picks up so wow that it turns it up to the knob, and it just gives you a third act to really conclude this film in a way that you would expect. Now to the point that I have to say, like, can we get another? There was nothing after the credits, so I don't know where we're going just yet. But I mean, come on now. We're living right now. We're on a high with the Monsterverse here. So get it done. We need more. This is truly one of, if not the best, outside of -1. This may be the best of all of the Godzilla Kong in this particular universe right now. This was just really that good. So with that being said, you got to check it out. It is coming to theaters. And when you do check it out, you got to let me know what you think. You got to let me know. Yes, because March 29th, you can check it out in theaters. Go see it on the biggest and best screen yet. Until then, folks, jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your excitement, your hype for this film, Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. Under this, man, this is the 38th film in the Godzilla franchise, and this is the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong, which came out in 2021. And I tell you, even to this point, I ain't ready for it to stop. We need so much more. Keep them coming. Keep them rolling. We need them. This is a great film. Give us more, and give us more now. But until then, folks, y'all be good. Thank you for watching this review, and we'll see you back here very soon.